All right, we got this started. I need to get the announcement on. Thinking about like raising the limit up to like maybe like 2 or 3k. It makes it a little harder for me just to play. Thinking about like every time, but realistically, like it might make for more enjoyable games. But you know, 5k, I've already raised it from 6 to 5, so we'll see about that. Doing a little bit more of a conservative start here. Definitely more of a conservative start. Not trying to make like a gigantic moyo like I used to, but you know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Just the regular start. You know, the approach. Getting some territory on the corner. We'll see how this goes. I know, like, if you're playing weaker player, a lot of people expect like this weird starts. I usually don't do that because that's just generally not the way I would regularly play, anyways. I think you can get into a pretty bad habit of doing that, and when you're actually in a real game, that could actually be really bad. Not really sure. I would guess the biggest move would be like somewhere over here. Um, he could pincer there, so I think I'm just going to take this move. I mean, this might be an okay move as well, but there's always the S12 invasion. You could also try this move later on, because the corner's not really his. I think I'm just going to take a jump up. I'm going to do this to get a little bit of territory here. That's not a good invasion as of right now. I'm just going to go over top. I guess he's just trying to, yeah, solidify the corner in there, but having this extra stone in here I don't think is a good idea. This thing is just kind of weird in here, though. I think I'm going to do this. Get a lot of territory around this area. See, I'm not going to go down here. It's not worth it. I'm going to attach here. This is more of a testing move to see how he answers me. I don't think this is actually a good move. That's actually a pretty good answer. See how I should do this. Not sure if I can live like this. I don't think that's the right move either. We'll see. We will see. I'd honestly be perfectly happy with just being able to live this corner. I'm pretty sure I was just able to live this corner. I could go up here. I probably should have just connected, but whatever. there's not much like potential. I don't think that's the right move for him. He can try to invade down here, but there's not that many points down here. And once he does that, I'm just going to do this and come out. I don't think it's that pertinent to do this right now. Just going to go ahead and block this. I don't see that's not a move you would do right now. There's very little potential for living in here. I mean, yeah, you could always do that, but why? Also, this doesn't work. This really doesn't work. I don't think this works at all for him. I feel like you're trying too hard to invade. I feel like he is trying way too hard to actually invade. And this doesn't work. Like, when you do something like this, you do have to calculate these things outright. And, like, you do have to calculate these things outright with the right number of liberties. And he definitely didn't do that this time around. And it's a pretty big, it's like territory-wise, this is a very substantial loss for him. Because I can just do this, and now all of this is mine. This doesn't really help him. I should probably stop doing that, but yeah, screw it, we're just gonna do this. I mean, like, that's a huge substantial loss in territory. Like, the entire corner plus the side. That is Sente for him, but, I mean, what is this influence actually going to do? Not much. That's Gote, so you wouldn't actually do that. I'm gonna block this off just to base this group, just so I don't have any problems here. I feel like that's always a bad move. Um, you unless you're really trying to build influence in this side, but I've already got this, so I'm not really sure how much you can actually get out of that. Plus, I still have this invasion. And since these stones are weak, this invasion is actually really, really... Yeah, see, I'm not going to let you build this influence up here. Like, I can just jump right here and prevent you from building this influence. If you're willing to give up the bottom for a bit of like territory right there, I'm more than willing to play that with you. Because you're not going to be able to kill this now, or really even threaten it, because I have at least one eye here, and I can just make another eye here always. There's not much. This is one of those cases where there's not much territory to actually be had here. It's fine. It's not really that much. I can't do that. I'm just gonna... I don't know if he's really trying to attack me here or what. But whatever he's doing, it's really not going to work. There isn't much you can actually do to it. I made a mistake there, damn. Yeah, I made a mistake. I have to do this because the other way would be pretty disastrous. I can't do that, actually. I made a pretty big mistake there. It's pretty bad. Should have connected this side first. I'm not really afraid that this group's going to die because it's probably not. Yeah, it's fine. Taking some advantages first. That is the right move. Yeah. I don't think that's a good move. I did lose a lot here, though. I will say I did lose a lot here. I should just block this way. I shouldn't have done that. That was a bad move by me. Should not have done that. That was actually a pretty bad move by me. Yeah, not gonna go with that. This is better. I'll just take this. Fix that first. This is actually a really close game. I feel like because I screwed up over here. He did play a lot better than like a usual 11k though. I don't think that's worth that much. I think this is worth more. There's no points here, so I'm just going to go ahead and fix this issue. This play here I just completely messed up on. But I do think he lost too much down here though. That's pretty big. It's actually worth 2. Yeah, this is actually a really close game. Mainly because I did mess up one segment of this. Notably over here.
Pass. Remove the dead stones.
Yeah, I win by a little bit because he lost too much down here, but he played actually.
You have won.
He actually played really well. I definitely screwed up here, but this is a much closer game than I expected. So, like, this is a traditional opening start. This is definitely a traditional opening start. That is fine. This is okay as well. I might have been better off forcing over here, but regardless. That's not a good invasion. There's no reason to do this right now. There's not much territory here anyways. So I'm just going to go overhead. This is like, actually, this is not too bad because it does solidify the corner, but you are sacrificing the stone down here. So it's not a bad idea. It's just not like, it's not really something I would do right now. This is fairly large because it builds up this shape here. and this is a pretty uncomfortable position until he extends. I'm going to go down here. I don't think this is a good move. But that's fine. He does this. I'm going to ignore it and go down here. That's actually not a good invasion. I just wanted to see how he would respond. I'm not really sure. I think the right response is this, although I'm not really sure. I think that's probably the right response, is my guess. It's a very small group in here, and you get the outside. I guess that's not bad. Or like when I take this, you don't even have to go anywhere. You just kind of like go somewhere else. I would guess that's the right response. I'm not exactly sure. That's obviously no good for me. So once again, I feel like you could just go ahead and do this, honestly. And then that would be Sente for black. I feel like that's probably the best scenario because, yeah, I mean, like, white's going to live down here regardless. White's going to definitely live down here regardless. So I would probably do this. If white opts to do this, then, you know, he's not alive, so he can't actually opt to do that right now. So that's definitely the best move right now. You could try to kill him, I guess. I mean, this actually might just be dead. Although you have to spend an extra move now, so it wouldn't actually be dead. So I feel like the best move is still that. And then just do this. I mean, white gets to live, but you get Sente, and you get some thickness on the outside. Then you can do whatever. I feel like that's probably the best solution for black. I don't know if you can actually try to... I don't really know if you can kill the corner thing. I don't think this is the best move, by the ways. Because if I do this, I'm not alive. You can just do this, and I would be dead. So I have to think of like different ways. If I do this, you can just do this. I don't know if this would actually work right now. It might not. I think it does for the most part, but you might have a couple of problems. So, or I mean, you could just do this and you get the same result. You get some outside influence. I get the small corner. So you're gonna have to have one. You're gonna have to have one of these results. So, but here you definitely want to do this. So. I don't think that's the right move. When I do this, you just do this, and then you just let me live, and you have Sente. That's a pretty good result for black, honestly. So he did do the right. This was the right move, but this is not the right move. Yeah, that was actually a mistake by me. I should have just connected this here, and yeah, I would have gotten this corner, I guess. So that's a mistake by me. I don't see, like, this group isn't actually alive. I feel like you can just attack it this way, and I don't know what I would actually do, because you can always just kind of do this. I'm not alive here. I can probably make it out, but you would be able to really destroy this territory. So that's why, like, I mean, you got to think about that. I was actually afraid of this. Like, if you just do this, this puts me in a really tough position. I would have to do stuff like this to even attempt to get out. And I'm not really sure how I would be successful in doing this. So that's definitely, like, that's bad. This is going to be the best move here. And whether you do, I mean, I would just do this. Like, white, it's hard for white to make anything of this. So that, come up here, invade, come up. I don't know. I would probably do this first. I don't think this actually works for white very well. Yeah, this is very bad for white. So if you just double Haned, I would have to connect. I would actually have to connect, and then you can, you know, do something like this. I would probably do this first. That's just my opinion. And I think white does have to repair this either by doing this, which is probably what I would do, to make sure that this is alive. So yes. I'm just not really sure about, like, this move is unnecessary. I probably should have just done this. That would actually fix the problem. I think this is actually bigger. I think this is actually bigger than coming down here, but I kind of messed up. I did this. That's a bad move. Here, I mean, I would just still do this. Realistically, I would definitely just do this. Probably like something like that. I would, and white would probably have to do this. That's what I would do. This is okay. But this is like kind of the end of it. I mean, if you want to do that, you can just trade that. But this is just a really bad miscalculation. That's just going to give me more and more points. You can go this way. And so like the best play here is just to go this way. I can't do this because that's a snapback. So it's just to go this way. And then I would have to do this. I think that's probably the best result you can get. I don't know, like, I can't stick in here, so you would just go somewhere else. Maybe this right now, I'm not really sure. So yeah, like, coming out this way is just a huge mistake. And letting me, like, because then you just gave me, like, 6 or 7 more points for free. Then doing this. And here you wouldn't bother finishing this because this just gives me a free move. That's generally, trading this with this is generally generally not a good move because there's like certain things like E18 you can do. I don't really favor that. That's fine. Like, I know you're trying to make territory here, but if I didn't mess up over here, this wouldn't work at all. Because you're already giving up some points there, and you still have the K18 clamp. So yeah, I should have, I definitely did something wrong. I definitely should have done that. Because if you do this, if black does this, I can just come over. This is actually like this is actually a really big loss for me. Because now this thing is kind of under threat. And if you actually look at Katago, it counts this white group as dead right now. And white's group is in a lot of danger. I think you can just probably do this. I don't know how I would actually be able to live this group. I would probably try to pull off something, but it would be kind of difficult for this to try to pull off. So it isn't that easy to kill. It's not really that easy to kill this group, but you do get a lot of territory here. So here you definitely would want to seal. I would probably do this. So I feel like this is alive. I don't know how you could actually... I'm not really sure if you could kill white's group. I guess you could try doing this because that does like... that does actually threaten this cut. I would have to do this, and you would probably jump up here. So the thing about this is that, like, can you kill white's group or not? Right now, I would say it's pretty killable at this point because I don't have a way to make 2 eyes. So I'm just going to keep doing this. This is a big mistake regardless. I feel like you almost have to do this. And white would actually be in a really tough position here if you actually did. Because if you really think about it, white doesn't really have, like, this group is still dead. And I'm not really sure what white would do. Like, if black actually did this, I might just have to do this. But, like, this is always a threat, right? Because you can cut these two. So that's always kind of a threat. So yeah, playing this is a big mistake. Letting me come up here and then letting me just get this. You don't really have to connect that. Well, actually, yeah, you do now. Then like just letting me take this advantage. So the thing is like you could actually kill this white group. This white group is not very healthy right now. You would just seal this in. You would, if you want to kill this group, you have to do this. And at this point, it just depends on how good your fighting skills are. Like if you do that, white doesn't really have a good way to live. If you do this, white really doesn't have a very good way to live. Guess you can just probably do this. I would have to connect. Like, there's no eyes for white in here, so this would pretty much be dead. I would do something like this, but, you know, that doesn't really help. So, yeah, a big group is like, a big mistake is not actually trying to kill this white group. Because if white plays this, he's alive. And I shouldn't have done this. I should have just went ahead and done this. At this point, white is alive. And if white is actually alive, then, you know, like this clamp and everything is still here. But the game is already pretty close now. Either ways, I just take these advantages. Also, like, this is a pretty bad mistake for me. I probably should have just done this. Because that is, I mean, I either do this or I play it this way. One of those two. I would probably just do this, just to repair it. I think I still have to do this. And then you would just connect this. And then, like, you know, this clamp is always here. I would do that and then jump in. So white would still be a little bit ahead at this point. Clamp. Yeah, that's fine. Jump. It's fine. That's not a good move. You would just do this. I can get a couple points in here, but you get all of this. So that's a bad ending move. Because you let me extend and destroy too much territory in here. I basically calculated that these three are worth more than this stone, so that's why I did this sequence. Also, here, I would probably just take that. If you wanted to, I would probably just do this. It's the same thing, except for this Hane now. Like, this Hane is more powerful for black than the other one, I guess. It's about the same, though. Eat. Extend. Essentially, these are just all like basic moves. At this point, the game's already determined. So, the big mistake here for white, because like after we actually played this sequence, I'm already up by like 20 something points. So I should have just been more careful here. This was unnecessary. This was like kind of unnecessary. This is okay. But I definitely should have done this to make sure that this is alive. This doesn't really matter. Sacrificing these two is okay because you spend a lot of moves over here, and you getting this territory is a lot. You getting like some shape over here is a lot more worthwhile. So maybe not even that. Maybe just something like this. So like I should have just taken the solid win. Whereas for him, like his mistake came a lot later when he didn't just big picture wise this group is dead and he didn't really realize it, because realistically black gave up so much here that the only real way you're going to win is actually like trying to kill this group. So that's the game right now. I make trade often. There was a big P6 removes points and P6. So, I mean, this thing right here? Well, but this is already alive, though, is the thing. Like I eventually played it, but even if I play this, he can just connect. I mean, yeah, I get those two stones, but since I'm already connected, it's not that big of a deal. I will say it is probably better than what I played, but since this is already alive, since this is since this is already alive, it's not that big of a deal. But it would have probably been a couple more points than what I actually played though. So yeah, sure that. But he could also kind of do this though, is the thing. Now I guess this wouldn't work because, well, but if I did this, like, like it's really not that big of a threat because he can just live. So I think it's a little better than what I played, but I don't think it's such a big deal because, like, it's really not that big of a deal because he can just go here. And remember, like, this is Sente, so this is actually like Sente, so like he can do something like this. It's actually not that big of a deal. P10. Yeah, so I mean, I still think this. I would still do this mainly because it's the safer move. After R6. Well, I mean, like, I mean, this just doesn't. This isn't. I mean, he would just do this. I guess you could do this, come in here, but you're still kind of like missing. You're still kind of missing like one step. You can't kill. You can't kill black. Since you can't kill the group of black, it doesn't really matter all that much. No, the thing is, like, I actually looked at this quite a bit. There's realistically, like with all the problems I have here, there's really no way I could kill him. At most, I would say at most I can get these two stones, which could be like a 5-point advantage. So you do have a point there. All right, guys, that's going to be just the game for today. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell notifications button. Unfortunately, I don't have enough time to play another game today. This guy played a lot better than I would say this guy played a lot better than the regular 11k though. I would definitely say like him actually realizing this cut is not like a regular move that 11k would do, but he did fail to recognize that this entire group was kind of dead. So, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell notifications button, and I will